That's been a while I'm here in Method. For me personally, it's more like a dream of being World First Raider at least once.
I joined, and Sepulchre was the tier that I joined. So it was the longest tier that there's been in recent times since Two Assault Garrus.
I always knew that there was a lot more effort in such a guild to race to World First, but you don't really realize how much effort there is until you join a team and you realize how many things are going on in the background.
Surreal. I'm not sure if I'd say surreal. If the certainty wasn't there that you're going to win, and you managed to win, that feeling is hard to beat.
Being in Method now for 2 years, I'm actually having more of a reliable feeling, or like I definitely feel in hype, right, to win the next race, but you always have to see, right, how we're performing.
What is that? There, in the caldera. Frog. He's consuming shadow flame. Fly away, little dragons. I will master what your flight could not control.
What's up guys, and welcome back to the Fateless channel. Now in today's video we're going to be announcing a rather special giveaway which will run in conjunction with a sponsorship that we're doing for Method in the Race to World First. Now if you don't know Method, you don't know who they are, and you don't know what the Race to World First is, that's okay, because I've got somebody here with me who's not only going to talk us through what the Race to World First is, he's also going to explain what his role in the race is going to be. Now, a bit of background, Method are a World of Warcraft guild. They've been around for absolutely years, competed always as one of the top guilds in the world, and every time that there's a new piece of content that drops in the game, they compete in a live esports style scene to race to be the first people in the world to kill these bosses. Fateless is incredibly proud to be working alongside Method to help promote the Race to World First, but also give some exposure to our game and take ideas from these boss fights and the community aspects of the Race to World First as we start moving further in the development of our game. So I won't hold you up any longer. I will introduce you to Stefan, or Faithy, who is one of the raiders from the Method World of Warcraft team, and we're going to talk through what the Race to World First is, what the giveaway is that we're going to be doing on their stream, and how you can get involved. So, Faithy, welcome to the channel. I know you've been on like my YouTube channel before, and you've been on the HH Gaming YouTube channel before, but if you'd maybe like to introduce yourself, who you are, and maybe explain what Method is and what the Race to World First is.
Yeah, so my name is Faithy. I play a video game called World of Warcraft in a competitive guild called Method. And what we do in Method, and what competitive WoW is for me, is that you race towards killing the last boss that has been released the fastest. So you can like kind of see it as a speed run, but it's a long stretch. Like, it's not a normal speed run.
Yeah, marathon speed run.
It's a marathon. Yeah, so this is what usually takes like up to 2 weeks of pure grind, where it's just get there and get the boss first. That's really what it's all about. Yeah.
So in that 2 weeks, how many hours a day do you guys play to achieve this?
So roughly, you would probably be online for 16 hours a day. Wow. You wake up, obviously a bit before when you start, you get some breakfast, and then you basically start. You have some breaks through the days, obviously, for lunch and dinner, toilet breaks, etc. But for the most part, it's just a grind for 16 hours. Yeah.
Is everyone on the same toilet schedule then?
Actually, yeah, like we have like a scheduled toilet break, so it's not kind of a case of like, like it's a game where you cooperate with multiple people. So let's say if one had to go to the toilet and then right after another had, we would obviously lose a lot of time.
Yeah,
So.
sure. And I mean, that's impressive because I mean, although you've got 20 people in the raid itself, how many people are actually involved in the race, I guess, for Method at least in
So
themselves?
I don't have an exact number, but I could say we have roughly 30 raiders. So those are players who could be in for killing the bosses and getting the raid down. Externally, we have even more people. We have people who assist us on the sidelines. We have obviously Method has like a sales team and people who are like making sure that the race event becomes good, entertaining.
Yeah.
So I think you could at least like see a minimum of 50 people working on it for our side at least.
Because as well as that, the race has now grown to a place where it's more of an esports event than just something that you watch on Twitch. I mean, these are live events. Obviously, the team at Method are all gathered up in Germany, and you're not the only team doing this. There'll be probably 3 or 4 other teams who are trying and to push to kill the boss as quickly as they can.
Yeah, so the event, or the Race to World First, as it's called, has become a big event throughout the years, ever since it was first started streaming, and it's been a household thing on Twitch since. And as you say, it's come to the point where people will be at a venue and an event and play together. I am not there this time, but yeah, you'll have a few dozen of players play from a venue, and yeah, it's really cool. Like it's a good experience.
And as somebody who's competed not only in the live events, been there in person, and obviously done it from home as well, which environment do you prefer? Do you prefer to be in your own space on your computer, or would you rather be at the event?
Personally, for me, I like being at the event. It motivates me more having people around me. You don't really have like the privacy to do other stuff where you should in theory put in like all the effort. Obviously that's not really something you do, but to a certain degree someone is kind of holding your hand, making sure you're doing everything optimal. But I think it comes down a lot to the individual people, because I know there's some people who will have like a lot of peer pressure if they're surrounded by people and they know a lot of people watching. For me personally, I think live event is definitely very cool.
And you guys still stream like your point of views even when you're playing from home, right?
Right. So we'll have everyone almost streaming, so you can have like different POVs depending on what you play and what you want to see. You can find all of us. So yeah, we stream even though we're not at the actual event.
Sweet. And in terms of the build up to these events, how much preparation goes into what you guys do versus what any normal sane guild or group of people playing World of Warcraft would do?
Right. So if we look at it, I think most people, they'll have one main character. They'll be their main character where they do raiding and they try to get as much gear as possible. We are not in a position where we can play one. You want to be able to flex into multiple different classes and specializations. So we have like a minimum requirement of having 10 characters that has to have the best 10 that has to have the best gear possible going into a next patch. And obviously that's a lot of work because after the race is done, all the preparation starts. You gotta gather gold, as the race can be very expensive in the game. You need to get consumables, and gear acquisition can be very expensive. So you need to acquire gold, and you need to gear all of your characters for the next time around, so it has the best gear possible going into the next raid. So a normal person would raid one time a week on maybe their character, but we raid up to 10 times on these characters. Yeah,
that's insane. That I thought it was like 3 or 4, not 10. Wow. And do you just have like multiple of the same class, or do you have all different classes?
So it depends a lot on the people, but for the most part, you'll like hold 2 or 3 classes. Some people primarily only hold one if they're very specialized on that class. At the moment, I'm holding 4, but primarily I'm gonna play one of them, which is a warrior, which I have 6 of.
Just 6 warriors is fine. And
Yeah, 6
and
warriors.
I guess the reasoning for that, and just to explain the reasoning for that, is that during the first week, you have different difficulties of the raid that goes live. You've got normal, heroic, and then mythic, and mythic is obviously where all of the prestige, I guess, is.
Yeah.
But to be able to get there, you need the gear from the other 2.
Right.
And by having one main class that you play and multiple versions of that, you're still working with a luck-based system of whether the gear that you need is going to drop or not. So having multiple warriors, I guess, it gives you multiple chances to pick from, which one ends up being the best geared to then take into Mythic.
Right. So you have, as you said, 3 different difficulties starting from week 1. Normal being the easier, heroic being harder, and mythic being the hardest. Mythic being the race to world first goal. It is the goal to kill the hardest boss or the last boss on the hardest difficulty. And as you said, the reason that we have all these characters is due to World of Warcraft. When you kill a boss, you acquire some loot, but said boss will have a loot table with a lot of different items. So you can't determine what boss will drop what. It'll be random. And you can kind of negate some of the randomness by keep brute forcing multiple characters into this, and hope that you'll eventually acquire like the items that you want. And that is what you'd call a split, because you have all these different characters just keep going at it until you get the right items. So you're as powerful as possible when you go into the hardest difficulty.
That is insane. And as somebody who's been spectating the race since the first, in fact, I used to watch it when they didn't live stream it, and you would wait for the videos to drop, or the updates on Twitter and things like that to go live. But now that it's a live event, it's something that I look forward to, even though I don't really play World of Warcraft anymore. And I think a lot of people share that even if you no longer play WoW, you still go back and you watch the race and you see how people do. And it's the whole atmosphere of how things go around it. And that's one of the main reasons that Fateless wanted to support it, because not only do we want community aspect and things like that within our game, it's also the mentality of the guild and method. And we work closely with Scott, and who's the owner and guild leader, I guess, of method, to talk about some of the things that we want to implement into our game. And that's why we wanted to establish this connection with method moving forward over the next couple of years as we kind of build out everything that we're doing, to make sure that we keep that foundations of these community run events and how special they can be, especially from a spectator point of view. And that's why also with the race, we are doing a giveaway on Method stream, which will be accessible from any of the players as far as I'm aware. So no matter who you're watching, you'll be able to get involved in this giveaway. We're actually giving away a $3,000 PC during the event. That anyone watching here, you can go over to Faithy's channel, which will be in the description below, or also any of the main method links. I will put all the information down below. But Stefan, I won't hold you up anymore, dude. I know obviously you've got some mad grinding to do. Obviously, good luck for the race, and I can't wait to sort of see how it goes.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Take care, guys. And anyone watching, make sure that you go and show Stefan some support. 16 hours a day, he's going to be live on Twitch for the next 2 weeks. So yeah, we will see you there.